10 new games coming to Quest in 2024. Well, I've already made a part 1 to this video, so if you want to check that out, I will leave it in the description to watch after this video, as there is 10 more amazing games in there. But, well, it's looking like an exciting year because we have a bunch of very cool games, enough to warrant making a second video in this series. So, if you're excited, make sure you smash that like button or subscribe and let me know what you're excited about seeing on this list in your headset in the future of 2024. Contractors Showdown. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be the new Battle Royale coming into VR and of course coming from Contractors, which is already a massively established title that we already know is damn good. The only difference is, in this, you're going to be pitted against a bunch of other people to fight in a Battle Royale style game. Now we have things like Pop 1 currently, and honestly I think I am proper ready for a realistic version of that to come to VR. I am really excited to see what Contractors Showdown is going to bring to the industry, so fingers crossed this is going to be absolutely fire, and we're going to find out more as this comes out later this year. Next we have Ghost of Tabor. I'm actually really excited for this one coming out, and it's super soon that this is coming out. It's actually going to be in February of this year, so make sure that you're ready for that because Ghost of Tabor is making its way to the Quest. Now this is already out on PC VR, and I think it has one of the strongest player bases out there when it comes down to a multiplayer game. This is looking like it's going to be a ton of fun to jump into on the Quest, as it of course is on the PC, but now you get to be untethered and play this game without being restricted by wires. If you're unaware of what the game is a PvPvE game where you're going to get in and you're going to want to loot and shoot. You're going to want to loot as much stuff as you possibly can so that you can extract with a full backpack, or you're going to want to take out a bunch of people and steal their stuff as you go along. This is a really fun dynamic game. If you're familiar with things like Escape from Tarkov, this is VR's answer to that. Next up is Medieval Dynasty. I'm really excited for this. This is a full-on sim where you're going to go in, you're going to need to chop down trees to build your homes, you're going to need to harvest those farms and fight off some disgusting animals, whilst also growing your family and potentially even a town around you. This looks like a very fleshed out game of something we've been needing in VR, and we've had kind of small tastes of it, but this is looking like the full-on fleshed out version of it. I really cannot wait to jump into this and experience it for myself. It's going to be one of those games that's going to burn a ton of your time, but nonetheless, I can't wait to just get in and experience it. It looks really nice as well, and of course it follows on from the familiar games that they've made for flat games beyond this point, but now we're finally getting a VR version of this, and it's going to be its own version as well. It's not just a VR-ified version of the original game. So really exciting news. I can't wait to jump into this. I love me a survival game, and I love even more a survival game where you truly have to cultivate and harvest and deal with everything you have to do in the game. VRSO. This is a bare knuckle / UFC style game where you're going to get in and fight for your life, going up against some apparently incredibly smart AI systems, and it looks freaking gorgeous on the Quest, and of course I think it's coming out on PC VR as well, so hopefully this is going to look as good as they're boasting it's going to on the Quest platform, and honestly I'm just very excited for this. I love me a good fighting game. I just think it really lends itself to what VR is, and of course you don't have to walk away with a black eye at the end of it, so that's a massive result. Anyway, keep an eye peeled for this one, as it looks like it's going to be really cool, and it's just a matter of time to find out whether it's hype or real. Next up is Veil VR. This is another shooter game. Of course we have an abundance of those in VR, but of course this one is looking like it's going to be another fun one. Now again, this game released on PC VR a little while back, and it's already got quite an audience behind it, and now it's going to make its way to the Quest, hopefully expanding that audience a little further. Of course boasting things like crossplay so that you're actually going to be able to combine these audiences and get a lot more people in those servers, which is always the hardest thing to do in VR. As we all know, multiplayer games die a death very quickly in VR, as the turnaround is, well, a little bit faster in this industry than others. But nonetheless, this is a team versus team, bunch of different game modes and a bunch of different maps, so it should be good fun. Let me know if you're excited about this in the comments down below. Next is one that I'm kind of looking forward to. Now listen, I know when I say the name people are going to be like, what? But Lawnmower Simulator. This is very much one of those satisfying games that you get to go and play, and the trailer does this justice. It looks very fun. I'm actually a sucker for games like this, the same way I was for Power Wash Simulator. I know it divides the community because half the people think, what the hell is wrong with you? Why do you want to mow a lawn in VR? And the other half are like, yeah, I kind of do, because it's really satisfying and it looks amazing when it's done. So I'm personally very excited for this. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on this one, because I know it's going to divide the community, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about, Rhys? And the other half are going to be like, yeah, I get you. I get it. Anyway, this game is boasting a hell of a campaign where you're going to be able to get in there and, of course, mow some lawns, trim some edges, and make sure that you keep those houses looking real pristine outside. Five Nights at Freddy Help Wanted 2. Now, this game released earlier for PC VR gamers, and oh my god, did it have one hell of a reception. People are loving this game and saying that it was basically everything the first game wasn't, and much more. If you're unfamiliar, this is a Five Nights at Freddy game. I mean, I think we all know what those are by now, but with this is a ton of mini games, like I mean a ton of mini games accumulated into a Five Nights at Freddy game, and of course with a bit of an undertone of a story going on throughout this, and probably unveiling a few more mysteries like the bite of 98 or whatever it is, and all of these things. Anyway, this is looking like an absolute dope game. I haven't played it myself yet, but I do look forward to experiencing it on the Quest. It's going to come out later this year, finally, for the Quest, and that means all those FNAF fans out there are going to get what they want, which is more FNAF. Next up is Memorium. This is a Dead Space-esque game that is getting made for VR. Now, I'm genuinely excited. Whenever you say a sentence like a Dead Space-esque game coming to VR, well, of course, you better know that I'm going to be excited about that, as I'm sure a huge community of people are going to be as well. This looks really interesting. It looks like a very solid game, and of course, there's not a busting amount known about this game just yet, but it does look like it's promising to be something very, very cool to come over to VR, and of course, I cannot wait to experience like this weird, creepy vibe that's going to come with this game. Very excited for this one. Can't wait to find out more. Next is Project Demigod. This is actually coming out in February, so, you know, not long to wait for this one, but Project Demigod is finally making its way from the App Lab to the main store, and it looks like such a fun game. Now, I know it's a fun game because I've actually played this before, and of course, I'm sure a ton of you have as well, but in Project Demigod, the idea behind this game is that it gives you the ability to experience every superhero's powers, because you can get in there and be Spider-Man, Iron Man, feel like Batman, pretty much do whatever you want. Beating the living snot out of people in a bunch of different environments and a bunch of different cities, making it feel like a really dope game. I'm actually really excited to see what they've done with this to make it the complete game that it is now coming out on the main store, or whether it's going to be something very similar to what I've already experienced. But we'll find out as this drops, and well, if you want to feel like a different superhero every day, then Project Demigod is probably going to be for you. And last on the list is Titanic: A Space Between. This is also coming out in February, so not long to wait for this title to come your way. Honestly, I'm pretty excited for this one. It's a game where you are sent back in time to be able to go and rescue someone, but while sending you back to the Titanic to rescue this person, they accidentally send you a week forward in time, which, you know, sets you up for a pretty bad day, because you land there the same day that the Titanic sinks. Not only are you going to be doing an escape room style game to be able to escape the Titanic whilst it's sinking, you also have to battle off terrifying ghosts, because, well, drowning isn't scary enough. You must add some ghosts in there as well. Either way, I'm a big fan of escape room games, so this one is actually going to be pretty exciting to me personally, and I can't wait to see what this one's going to bring for us. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I did do one already covering 10 very exciting games, and in that one, I'm going to be honest, it had some pretty good bangers in there. Things like Gunman's Contract, we have things like Behemoth on their way, a whole busting amount. So make sure you go check out that video as well if you want to see some really premium games we have coming our way. But besides that point, some honorable mentions of things that we don't know enough about to include in the video here just yet, but there are rumors of these things happening. Batman VR. Oh my god, I'm very excited about this. This is a game I have been waiting for since we got like the small taste with the little Batman game that we got coming out in like 2016 back in the Dizzle, but we have had a taste of what Batman VR would be like, and I can't wait. Also, it's going to be potentially developed by the same people that made the Iron Man VR game, and we all know that that game was absolutely fire, so fingers crossed stuff like that is going to actually happen. So there's your little honorable mention at the end of this. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider smashing that like button and subscribing for more content like this. And of course, I cover everything VR related on the channel, so you can get, you know, your real fill of VR over here. So subscribe. Thank you. It's free. Peace out. Goodbye.